So you're considering making that move here to Ann Arbor, Michigan, and you might be asking yourself like, man, why is Ann Arbor ranked one of the best places to live in the Midwest and in Michigan consistently every single year? Well, in this video, I've got some answers for you. We're gonna dive into what makes Ann Arbor so special and why so many people love calling Ann Arbor home, and we're diving into it right now. Hey, if you're new here and new to me, my name is Eric. I make videos that are all things Michigan. My team and I have helped hundreds of people just like you make that move here to Michigan, and we wanna help you do just that. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, tap that bell so you're the first to learn about the current market and every time we put out a new video just like this. And if you are considering making that move here in 1 month or 1 year from now, don't hesitate to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or even schedule a Zoom call so we can meet face to face and match you up with the ideal lifestyle. So let's get into why Ann Arbor is the best place to live right here in Michigan. So first up on our list, let's start with the heart of Ann Arbor. Its vibrant downtown scene. So if you're coming from a small town, or at least appreciate a small town vibe like I do, then Ann Arbor is definitely going to speak to you. Now, it's not too big like Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, where you could drive in those cities for half hour, and just get lost. I mean, the cities are absolutely massive. Ann Arbor is definitely more manageable. It's smaller scale, and the downtown is really kind of quaint. If you look at it from size perspective, Ann Arbor in general is a good sized metropolitan area, but the downtown area is super manageable. I mean, you can walk to downtown from a lot of the surrounding subdivisions. You got the farmers market down there, you got all the businesses down there, and you could walk the whole entire downtown within like 20 minutes. I've done it for lunch pretty much every single day when I was working downtown. That was one of my favorite things to do. So there's a couple different districts when it comes to downtown. You have your Main Street area, you have Carytown, and then you have the campus area. In between all those, there's tons of shopping, tons of restaurants, tons of coffee shops, places to hang out. They all have outdoor seating in the summertime, which makes it really vibrant. They close down part of Liberty Street and Main Street to make that area a little bit more accessible for dining, just walking around and enjoying the downtown. Curious if they're going to do it next year. They've done it for the past couple of years, and it was more of a COVID thing as they started doing it, but we'll see if they continue that tradition in the future. And don't forget to leave a comment down below if you love a good downtown area with lots to do. All right, so next up on why Ann Arbor is the best place to live is for the education. Now, education is super important. As a dad of two, I've come to realize that education is everything when it comes to raising my girls. I want to make sure they have a good solid foundation, a good education, and good moral compass when it comes to just surviving this wild world that we live in. So looking at a good education system is very important for a lot of families. We get calls every single day, from people that are looking to move here specifically for the education system and the public schools, and Ann Arbor has some of the best. They are top rated across the board, A+ in pretty much every category, and there's some alternative schools as well. So if you're looking for a faith-based school, they have those here as well. If you're looking for charter schools or specialty programs, there are some alternative schools like the Waldorf School that you can check out as well. If you do want any information on those, just drop a comment or feel free to reach out. Be happy to provide some information for you. But people do come from all over the United States to send their kids to Ann Arbor schools. When you're looking to relocate into the Metro Detroit area, maybe you're getting a job at the University of Michigan, maybe you're going to be working at one of the surrounding healthcare systems or the automotive industry, which is really big here, then you start looking at these things and say, okay, my family's moving to Southeast Michigan. What's important? I can be 30, 45 minutes from my office, or if I'm working from home, then that takes a backseat to where you're going to live for your kids' education. Now, Ann Arbor and some of the surrounding areas like Dexter, Saline, Brighton, Northfield, Plymouth, they all have fantastic education systems. So if you are looking for some alternatives besides Ann Arbor, they do exist here, but Ann Arbor ranks amongst the highest right here in Michigan. And if education is a top priority for you and your family like it is for mine, give this video a thumbs up. Next up on our list are the parks and recreation here in Ann Arbor. Now, this could go on for days because Ann Arbor has a lot of parks. I mean, the nature here and the outdoors is one of the reasons why it's the best place to live, and this keeps popping up in pretty much every ranking that I do on Ann Arbor, and it's for a good reason. Now I can make multiple videos about these parks, and if you want me to do that, just comment down below. Tell me what parks do you want to see first so I have a priority list and I can go off of that, because there are so many parks. There's 162 parks here in Ann Arbor. There's 15 facilities that have things like indoor pools, outdoor pools, golf courses. There's the Ann Arbor Hands-On Museum. There's other museums. There's the Senior Center. There's so many things that the Parks and Recreation cover here in Ann Arbor, and that's all to you guys. If you live in here in Ann Arbor, you get to use all of that. day and night, whenever you want, because you live in Ann Arbor. So the outdoors, if you want to go on a hike, on a biking trail, there's no shortage of getting outdoors, seeing nature, enjoying it. You can also do things like go explore the botanical gardens, which are absolutely beautiful. In the summertime when you're out walking the botanical gardens, it's absolutely beautiful. There's butterflies everywhere, got flowers, and it's just mind-blowing to see all of these things right in your backyard. And if you cruise through Ann Arbor and you just hit the downtown area, hit the stadium for a University of Michigan football game, or you're in town for just a weekend, you might pass right by these things. I mean, the Huron River runs right through town. You can launch at some of the libraries in Gallup Park, Argo Park, cruise down in a canoe. You can do kayaking. You can do moonlight, tours. Then you can start seeing wildlife, as they're coming out to feed. It's really cool. And like I said, there's no shortage of outdoor activities to do, especially in the fall, winter, and summer and spring. It's all the things. These parks, they turn into areas where you can cross-country ski in the winter if you want. In the summertime, you got areas where you can do a pickup softball game, a pickup football game, soccer game with the kids. There's just plenty of places to run around, let loose, and enjoy outside. Next up on our list is the thriving job market here in Ann Arbor. Now, I'm stressing the word thriving because there is no shortage of job opportunity. Between all the major employers here, there is tons of high-paying jobs that offer a great quality of life right here in Ann Arbor. So you got University of Michigan, which employs nearly 35,000 people. You have Trinity Healthcare System, which employs over 6,000 people. You got the VA healthcare system that employs roughly 3,500 people. And just between those two alone, we're talking about close to 45,000 jobs right here in the healthcare system alone. Not to mention, the University of Michigan on the education side. You got the Ann Arbor Public Schools, which employ a ton of people here. And between that and the automotive industry and then the life sciences, there's a ton of job opportunities. So you guys see how all this comes together. The ecosystem here is not just reliant on one industry. You got healthcare, education, automotive, life sciences, and within these, there's a ton of tech jobs here too that are surrounding healthcare, automotive, and all the major industries, right? Because these companies that are starting from a tech perspective, they're supporting a lot of these companies. When we had the electrification and self-driving cars, the autonomous vehicles start becoming more and more popular, well, a lot of these research and development firms that Ford, GM, Stellantis, they started kind of contracting with, well, no better place where all the tech jobs are than Ann Arbor. So a lot of these companies started springing up. A lot more entrepreneurs started these companies and supporting these technologies to integrate with the autonomous and electrification of vehicles and the healthcare system. And we've had our first unicorn, out of Ann Arbor, which was Duo Security. This was in the security space, but Duo Security was bought by Cisco, and it was $1 billion valuation. These don't happen very often. $1 billion valuations are really hard to come by, but just wanted to show you that these companies and the tech hub here in Ann Arbor is really closely tied with, cities like Austin and San Francisco, and even in Detroit, where a lot of the automakers are investing in Detroit and putting a lot of money into research and development. They are also putting into Ann Arbor as well. So if you are looking for a job here in Ann Arbor, as you can see, there's plenty of opportunities. And if you're not having any luck on the major job boards, feel free to reach out. We got some great contacts that are recruiters here in the area. They can help place you and find you, what you're looking for, or get plugged in with Spark, which is a nonprofit run by the MEDC, which is the Michigan Economic Development Center that helps entrepreneurs and businesses get started with their businesses here in Michigan. Next up on the list is the amazing foodie scene here in Ann Arbor. Now, I can't stay on this section very long because I went through all the restaurants already and I'm getting so hungry just thinking about all this food. It's really early in the morning here. I've already eaten breakfast, by the way, and I am just salivating for some of these restaurants that I'm going to name here. So I'm going to get past some of the favorite restaurants for you guys because the food scene here in Ann Arbor, just take my word for it. I'm a foodie, so coming from a foodie to a foodie, it's amazing. You can go and try a different cuisine pretty much every day of the week, multiple cuisines in the day and still not get through all the restaurants that we have here in Ann Arbor. So some of my favorite restaurants here in Ann Arbor are Night Steakhouse and the Chop House. Really good options if you're looking for a steakhouse type vibe, good drinks, good atmosphere. Both those are great. I'm on an animal-based diet, so anytime I can get out to a steakhouse or any place that has either salmon or steak, that's my jam, because that's really all I eat, when it comes to it. But if you're looking for a good burger, Crazy Jim's Blimpie Burger is phenomenal. You also have Frita Batitas, and between those two, like if you are just eating burgers throughout the week, like I wouldn't go anywhere else. Frita Batitas or Crazy Jim's Blimpie Burger, those two, hands down, some of the best burgers here in Ann Arbor. And then, of course, don't leave Ann Arbor without trying Zingerman's. Now, Zingerman's is one of my favorite deli sandwiches, and for a reason. They have so many varieties, and I love a good Reuben. And the Reuben they make there, if you go to a restaurant and the corned beef, comes out of a can, I don't want anything to do with it. I'd just toss it in the garbage for all I care. If you have fresh corned beef, like that is phenomenal. And Zingerman's does a really good job with their sandwiches. They also have great coffee and great pastries. They have a whole bakery. Zingerman's just does it right. Like you got to go experience it. They just do it right. Now, I will warn you, it is expensive. You are going to be paying about $15 to $20 for a sandwich, but if you're going there just to try it and experience it, it is definitely worth it. And trust me, there's a ton of other options that I wanted to put on this list, but we would be here for days. Just like the parks here in Ann Arbor, the list goes on and on and on. So if you are a local or somebody that's been to Ann Arbor and you got some recommendation, drop those in the comments below. Let everybody know what your favorite restaurant is. I'd love to hear it. Next up on our list are the events and festivals here in Ann Arbor. Now, Ann Arbor definitely knows how to throw a good party. Ann Arbor's home to one of the largest art fairs in the whole entire world. It's crazy to think about it. I grew up in Michigan my whole entire life. I knew Ann Arbor had a lot of great tailgates. The University of Michigan was here, but as a kid, you never really experienced art. My mom and dad weren't artists. They weren't into the art scenes. So being so close to Ann Arbor, I never even knew the Ann Arbor Art Fair was this international mecca of people coming from all over the world and all over the country to participate and exhibit some of their art right here in Ann Arbor. So now as an adult with an appreciation for some of the finer things in life, I love going to the art fair. The girls love going to the art fair. We go down there every year and make sure, we're walking around, seeing some of the arts, getting their mind expanded, what they can do. And they love coming home and actually trying to replicate some of that with their drawings. And they want to do these clay moldings now. And I'm like, I don't know if we could put a clay molding in our house. I don't even know how to do that. So it's been fun just exposing them, to that type of culture here in Ann Arbor and being so close to it. They get a different side of this, something I didn't have when I was a kid. So I really appreciate it now, being that, the art fair is in Ann Arbor and it brings people from all over the world. You get to meet some awesome people and just really enjoy what they put on from exhibitors. And last on our list are the housing options for pretty much any lifestyle you're looking to live. Now, when it comes to real estate here in Ann Arbor, there's so much to consider. There's so much that goes into your home search. And I don't want to oversimplify this, but when it comes to housing options, there's a ton of different style homes, a ton of different style neighborhoods that offer different lifestyles. So when it comes to choosing your home and looking at real estate here in Ann Arbor, it's always best to kind of write down what you're looking for, what's important to you. Is lifestyle more important? Is the house more important? Some people like to be close to downtown and they're willing to buy an older house that has a little bit less space, a little bit less storage space, maybe no finished basement. You're going to get into a Michigan basement. I've made videos about that before. If you want to know what a Michigan basement is, just ask in the comments below. I'll let you know, or go check out one of the other videos. But when it comes to all that stuff, there is tons of different options, but writing down your priority list, will help you understand, what's important to you and your spouse and your family. And if lifestyle takes the cake on that and you want to be close to parks, you want to be close to the school for walkability, you want to be close to downtown, that's fine too. Or if you're looking for a specific style home, there's a range of mid-century moderns. There's homes that are built in the Victorian era. There are sprawling ranches, that were built in the 50s and 60s. There's little small ranches in the Dickens area that were built in the 50s and 60s and 70s. So as Ann Arbor grew, from a town that started really in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and that downtown area started growing out, you'll start seeing some of the real estate. Some of the real estate closest to the downtown area is some of the oldest and most beautiful homes that you've ever seen. And then you start getting into rings outside of that. You're going to find areas like Eber White. You're going to find areas like Water Hill and Arbor Hills. And then you start getting into some of the suburbs on the outside of Ann Arbor, in Ann Arbor Township, Scioto Township, Lodi Township. And some of these areas may be perfect for you, right? They may be exactly what you're looking for, but when it comes to housing options, there's no shortage. Now, when it comes to price and budget, it's best to get pre-qualified, understand what your budget is first and foremost, and then you can start looking in those price ranges. Homes that are downtown, they could range anywhere from 500 to $1 million. If you're looking at homes that are on the outskirts, you might be looking at 500 to 600,000 or 500 to 700,000. You still can find homes under 500,000, but they may need a little bit of work. The average price point here in Ann Arbor is 525. So that's just the average. Again, you can still find homes that are 400,000. They might be a little bit smaller. They might need a little bit more work, or they might be in an area that doesn't fit your lifestyle, right? So that's why I say it's really important to understand what it is that you're looking for, and then we can go deep into that to understand what might be the best area and lifestyle for you here in Ann Arbor. So if you do have any questions about real estate, always feel free to reach out. That's what we're here for. We've helped hundreds of people just like you make that move here to Ann Arbor, and we want to help you do just that. All right, so there you have it. Why Ann Arbor is one of the best places to live for all the reasons we just covered. People love living here for the outdoors. They love living here for the culture, the festivals, the events, the education, the job market. It's all the things, right? It's like that perfect storm when you have great jobs, right? Great paying jobs, awesome real estate. You have outdoors. There's no shortage of activities and things to do. And then you layer on the education system for your kids. It's a home run. It's an absolute home run when it comes to living in Ann Arbor, and it's one of the reasons why Ann Arbor is the best place to live right here in Michigan. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And again, if you are making that move here to Ann Arbor in 1 month or 1 year from now, don't hesitate to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or better yet, schedule that Zoom call so we can meet face to face and match you up with the ideal lifestyle. And until next time, we got some of these other videos here. You can go do some research. We've got videos on the best neighborhoods here in Ann Arbor, the outskirts of Ann Arbor, some of the best suburbs to live in near Ann Arbor. Those videos will be up there, or go binge them on our channel. And until next time, we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.